in the fall equinox, the fall solstice. We welcome everyone to our health and wealth empowerment series. This one right here, we're gonna go into the fall equinox. Right now, we have a lot of wonderful things preparing for the fall solstice. And as you can see here, we got the Nodiac calendar. The Nodiac calendar, one of the powerhouse calendar, which show and indicate, when we talk about true health is wealth and true wealth is health. This calendar indicates certain organs and certain things one should be doing in the specific month so that you can have an optimum time during that month, that season. There's a saying, everything happens for a season and a reason. So as we go into the fall equinox, when we talk about fall being representing the air element, the fall have a lot of representation. We're going to touch on it in a bit, but as we see here, what we have for the fall, we have the September, the liver, October, the kidneys, and November, the stomach. So when we talk about the fall, when it comes to health, these are some of the precious organs that we focus on during this time. And each month, they say it takes, from a health and a wealth standpoint, it takes 21 to 30 days to reverse any issue or to master certain exercise. And of course, on a grander level, 90 days of just intense, hard work, practice, consistency. So again, when we talk about the fall season, and we're going to go into these organs in a bit, when we talk about the fall season in relation to health, and we talk about the two seasons, the dry season and the wet season. One half represent the dry season, one half represent the wet season. You have the wet season coming up, which represent the fall and winter, and the dry season represent the summer and the spring. So also when we talk about the fall season, we talk about it represent not only the dry season, but it also represent the masculine energy, the masculine principle. Even though both aspects represent the both, the all, but there's one that stand out the most. So again, the air element is in relation to the fall season, which also deal with the whole science of oxygen. When we talk about the elements, each element represent a periodic table of elements as well. When we talk about oxygen, we talk about hydrogen for winter, spring, carbohydrates, and we have nitrogen for fire. So we have these different sciences in relation to the elements as well. So we will be focusing on the oxygen science in relation to the air element, in relation to the fall season, which take place 3 months, September, October, and November. And as you see on the Nodiac calendar, there's a specific time in September. It's not the full September. It's towards from the 21st to the 23rd is the equinox shift. That's when the full starting of that equinox starts. So that's when it's time to go into focusing on that precious organ, which the first one we have is the liver. Cleansing the liver, cleaning out that month of September is focused between September and October. Around the same time, 21st to the 23rd, we focus on the liver. And this is all dealing with the health aspect. Of course, when we talk about wealth building, during this time is the new fiscal year starts, in the sense of, proposing your ideas for those grantors. There are different departments that they open their budget during these seasons. So this, between those two times, especially when it comes to like insurance companies, during this month right here, September 21st, 23rd to October, around that time is the best time to network, to get work, if you know what I mean. So we have the liver, also represent Libra. We ain't even gonna go into that portion. We just gonna stick with the organs right now. Then we're gonna go into the Scorpio, the kidneys. Yes, very, very important. The kidneys. That's dealing with the middle of October to the middle of November. So we have the kidneys, focusing on the kidneys, and that month is also dealing with cleaning out, drinking your herbal teas during the fall season, during the what we call wet season, which is still dry because it's still part of the summer going into fall, but it's categorized that you see here as the wet season. That line right there, that line makes this wet and this dry, even though when you put that line across, these both represent dry and these both represent wet, meaning springtime you get a lot of rain in certain areas, in the summer, and of course the winter, where at certain geographical areas, spring and summer represent the dry season. So it's based on where you at. Everything happened for a reason and a season, and also based on the geographical area you in, right? So we have cleaning out, drinking your herbal teas, taking care of the kidneys, and even when you break this down from the wet and the dry, from the sunset and the sunrise, that's another principle. From fall all the way to spring, the beginning of spring represents the sunset. That's that's why it's more dark on this side. And from spring, the beginning of spring, to the ending of summer, going into the fall season, represent the dry sunrise. So most of these organs, you notice, is all dealing with the sunset. You got your liver, your kidneys, your stomach, your bladder, your intestines, your genital. This is all dealing with the lower side, the stomach, the lower area. So you focus on sunset food during the sunset time. And of course, sunrise, you have, of course, the heart, the bones, the marrow, skeleton, the lungs, the brain. All these represent the sunrise season. All right, so again, going into the sunset, since we're going into that season of fall equinox empowerment, this is the fall equinox empowerment. We have the kidneys here, which represents October and November, Scorpio, and then also those who have born in these different signs. That's another science in relation to these organs. Again, I'm not going to go into that. That's for consultation and all that extra, but just to know that true health is wealth, and each of these precious organs, taking care of it each month, represents something on the highest level. So when we go into November, from November to some of December, before we enter the winter solstice, which is the water element, the winter solstice, another wet season, you have the stomach, which is also represents Sagittarius. You have the stomach, the cleaning out, the dropping out, the cleaning out. What activity take place during this time culturally that most people celebrate? Thanksgiving. So while people filling up their stomach, this is the time to cleanse out the precious organ. Between the Thanksgiving time, right, between the 21st and the 23rd, right, when it starts officially, what a coincidence, to the 21st and the 23rd, when that equinox shift, that's the best time to cleanse the stomach, to do clean out. This is why that month before, which is also what they celebrate, the whole Halloween thing, scaring the organs, tightening up the kidneys and the liver. This is the best time to have your herbal tea, have your organs working accordingly during the sunset season. We're not having that much sun, so the kidneys need to work accordingly during that time. So this is why you have your herbal teas, you know, dealing with the whole oxygen level, the science, and of course the liver, which we start in our equinox shift by cleaning out, doing our 21 30-day detox cleanse. For those who are doing a 3-day cleanse, a 7-day before the equinox shift, you know, preparing themselves to cleanse their liver. And those who are doing it afterwards, going into that month, this is the best time to do your detox and body cleanse. Again, true health is wealth. True health is wealth. Now, when we talk about this science from a pH scale, you know, we deal with the alkaline lifestyle. So, you know, on a pH scale, you have 3 levels. You have your alkaline, your neutral, and your acidic. And you can put each element on the pH scale. You can even put, right now we're focusing on the season of and the element air. So you could put air at an acidic scent, you know, dealing with the bad air, being mindful of engaging in bad air, polluted environment. You got your neutral air, you know, and then you have your acidic air, your alkaline air. Your alkaline air where, you know, being in nature and trees, or for those neutral air who have air purification devices and all these other devices to actually help maintain the air quality. So you can put the air element on a pH scale and test it for yourself. Same thing with the season, the fall season. Certain season, and you know, the fall may be a little different. Like I said, even though the fall represents the wet season, it's still also part of the masculine principle, and it's still also represented as part of the dry season as well. But it's fully part of the wet season, and it's both a balance of masculine and feminine. So you may have time where if you put the season, fall season, in relation to acidic, even though it's fall season, the weather is not representing the season. The weather is definitely not representing the season. That could be an acidic perspective. Put it neutral, where, you know, the weather is, again, operating on a neutral standpoint. You know what type of weather you expect during that season, and, you know, we can acknowledge it. And also alkaline, in that sense of some of the greatness that you may experience during that season, especially with the weather being at its greatest potential during that 3 months. For those farmers, they understand those dynamics. Those people who does gardening work and what do you call it, agricultural work, they understand each season represents a certain time to plant, certain time to eat certain food, certain time to not eat. So depending on the season, how the pH in relation to the planet is, you know, you can plant and you see results. So same thing, we even go into senses. When we put the senses, because now when we talk about the fall season, we talk about the air element, which we talk about the smell, the sense of smell, which all these correlate. For those who don't know about the Alkaline Lifestyle Workshop, we definitely have the Alkaline Lifestyle Workshop that we provide. Where's that? I thought I had the website. The Alkaline Lifestyle Workshop, where we go into some of the science of, I definitely thought we had the Alkaline. Let me put that up real quick. The Alkaline Lifestyle. So with the Alkaline Lifestyle Workshop, we talk about, again, the season, the elements, the senses, the subject matters, and even when it comes to putting the sense of smell on the pH scale. You know, what you're smelling in your environment, is it acidic? For those garbage trucks that be around polluting that environment, is it acidic? Is it neutral? Is it neutral? Is it a place where you can breathe, you know, for those who have carpets in their house? You know, is it alkaline? Is the air environment, do you got plants and all types of greeneries in your house to make sure the environment is, you know, represent the lifestyle you would like to live. Giving thanks. So we have these different signs when it comes to the pH scale, right? So now, in relation to the pH scale, we talk about, this is one of the air purification machines we have. This is one of the many air purification machines. Again, you know, we talk about the air, the smell, the season, all of these things you can put on a pH scale. And it's very good. We talk about this on the presentation, the breathing techniques, the different science of how you breathe in, you know, the power of breathing sunrise, same thing like we shared before, sunrise through the nose, sunset through the mouth, representing the stomach, you know, the breathing, the fire breath, putting both elements together, fire and sun, and fall, summer and fall, fire and air, put that together for your fire breath, tapping into your avatar. We are the natural airbenders, so what I'm saying. Giving thanks. So we talk about the power of breathing, the breath of life, fresh air. You see the breath of life. I need my breath of life, my brother. Definitely. The breath of life, the power of breathing, fresh air. Even products that you use, like I was sharing before, during the season, there's certain items, there's certain fruit to eat during the fall and the winter, which you may not partake in during the summer, and vice versa, and things that grow during them season as well. Cutting off of the mucus food, you know, during that time, you definitely want to cut off of the mucus food, the starches, and a lot of the food that is not digestible accordingly, especially certain times of partaking into food. You want to cut off from eating certain food at a certain time. We talk about the power of the red onion, you know, putting the red onion in your house and in certain areas in the house. Red onion is very, very good for tapping into the air element in that season on the highest level. Be mindful of the chemical spray. Again, we in the fall season, we dealing with the air element, we dealing with oxygen, we dealing with the sense of smell. So being mindful of the chemicals, sprays that one use, definitely be mindful. So as you see right there with the visual, we have essential oils that you can use. You know, I'm talking about the 100% pure. You got to be mindful with some of the essential oils as well. You know, the sages, the Palo Santo. We have one of our sage specialists in the building. Yes, you know, they got a lot of funny sages and Palo Santos out there now. So be mindful. One of our Palo Santo specialists is in the building. We give thanks. Also, you have your incense. You know, we talk about the power of using the right quality incense, especially when it comes to the air, that season, the sense of smell, you know, the air purification. Again, you have your plants. All of these things bring a certain type of inspiration in your environment. You know, we talk about that too in the Alkaline Lifestyle Workshop. The good air, good environment bring good inspiration. You're either going to be inspired by the environment, giving thanks that you set for yourself, or you're going to stuff yourself up till you conspire. You know, for those who know, cleanliness is godliness. So you don't need to conspire if you need to keep your environment cleansed. Cleanliness is godliness. Turn your home into a wellness station so that you can have the good inspiration and don't be like the others who didn't have the inspiration and end up expiring, right? So we bring in inspiration, build nation. We talk about also the science of avoiding certain type of air conditioners, fans, and those other devices. Understand that it's needed in some sense, but definitely when you have some of these other tools, it also accommodate a lot of the other science when it comes to fall, the air element, the sense of smell. And lastly, nature. You see that plant, bring some trees, bring some nature into your environment. Yes, that definitely changes the pH. Ashe. So with that being said, this is empowerment presentation when it comes to the fall season. As we're about to shift into the fall season, we want to make sure that we do our 21, 3-day, for those who need a weekend to do their 3-day cleanse. 7-day, you can turn your week strong. A 21-30, or for those who understand the science of we do things for a season and a reason, you might need that full 90 days to get your mind, body, and spirit right. So by the time you go into the winter solstice, a whole new being. With that being said, family, peace and love, power.